Hello. I'm going to try and be a bit lighter this week and less of the theorizing and philosophizing. But something I found interesting. Um, Recently, a friend of mine sent me an email in which she asked me how I identified myself, and I thought, oh, that's easy question to answer. Um, but then I thought, oh no, no, it's not really. How I identify myself, how I identify my gender, and it's not easy to answer at all. I don't know, I don't know why I thought it was. Um, and I ended up writing this very long, protracted sort of explanation. But what I came up with at the end of it was that the way I see gender is as just phenomenally camp. Um, the whole institution of gender is like this massive piece of cultural kitsch. You know, it's like it could be. It has the potential to be the plaster ducks on the wall of your mind. Maybe a cup of tea as I do this vlog. I think it's going to improve things. So with that in mind, I thought I would talk today about the wonderful, marvellous thing that is Genderform. Because although I don't have Facebook and I don't believe in all that rubbish, I do. I'm a big fan of the Genderform. If you don't know Genderform, I'm going to put a link to it down there. And it's basically this application where it gives you a huge list of ways that you might identify yourself based on gender, sexuality, relationships, and all these different labels. Because labels, when used to oppress, are you got to be careful with them, because when used to oppress, they're um, they're kind of tools of limitation and imprisonment. But when you use them, you can use them for fun, and it's like, instead of a cage, it's a climbing frame. How about that? So I'm going to pause this and open up the file with my gender form things in it and talk a bit about some of them. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to read my gender form and then talk a bit about some of the things that are. Here goes. Hello, I am caring, a cat lover, clockable, creative, eccentric, effeminate, femme, full of love, geek, gender liberationist, gender subversive, gender variant, gender warrior, gender queer, introvert, male born, no thank you, platonic, queer, queer liberationist, shy, student, virgin. So those are my things, and that's me putting all my cards on the table. So I talk about a few things on there. Well, obviously I picked a cat lover because that's kind of the most important thing, and one of these days I'm going to do a vlog about cats and my cat theory of relationships, so you can look forward to that. In fact, maybe I'll do that next week, cat theory of relationships, there we go. And I also put, I like that there's a lot of things that aren't kind of obsessively sort of binaristic or having to do with male, female, straight, queer, that sort of thing, because there are other things that are as important to your personality, if not more so, and so I like the fact that you can put things like caring, creative, eccentric on that. I think that's very important, and I just love this all round. Really, I just think this gender form is a fantastic thing. And I also put clockable because I tend to get a lot of looks, especially, and I may have mentioned this on this vlog before, but the I work in a bookshop sometimes, and often when I'm behind the till, it's little children, like adults will look at you and then look away most of the time. Sometimes you have to just, be doing something to give them time to put their eyes back in their head. But it's the little children that will look up at you with these enormous round eyes, and I love getting that. It's so sweet. Okay, so and then I had the gendery stuff, which was effeminate and femme, which are not quite the same thing, but they're still in the same ballpark of kind of femininity as kitsch, you know. And then I put geek, obviously, because as you know, I'm not a computer geek or a science geek, but I'm a huge language geek, and I think I qualify as a gender geek as well. And then I put a lot of things that begin with gender, because there was something I didn't want to put in, because gender abolitionist I decided not to choose because I think gender is enormous fun, and maybe one day gender will dissolve, but and that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but for now I'm quite happy with it, and I don't think it'll dissolve in my lifetime. I'm not usually that sort of pragmatic, but I don't think so. So the gender things I put were gender liberationist, subversive, variant, warrior, and gender queer, all of which I mean with varying levels of sincerity, because I definitely think gender should be liberated and gender should be free. You've got to take things out of the box, and but the box will still be there. You know, I'm quoting and paraphrasing from my email that I wrote to my friend yesterday. It's terrific to have that to draw on as you improvise this sort of thing. And then subversive, because, well, you laugh, but I think that my mode of being is pretty subversive. And gender variant, which I like as a label, because you are you vary from the norms, but you're also varying in yourself, and you can move your gender around, as we all do all the time. And then gender warrior. I am a pacifist, but I like the idea of gender warrior, of doing gender battle, in a metaphorical way. And then gender queer, which is the label the broader kind of label that I identify with. But I like that because it's very sort of all-encompassing. And introvert is my next one, and I find that interesting because introversion used to be sort of described as a kind of, it's a kind of euphemism and synonym for effeminacy, homosexuality, but it's just kind of keeping introversion kind of concern with one's own sort of personal psychic being and self-examination, which is quite important to me. And then male born, and I put under I'm going to talk about desire next week when I talk about the cat theory of relationships, as I've decided, but under physical sex, there's things that physical sex, and the first one is always, and there's another one which says no thank you,